I want to share today the things that I would have done very differently over the past 5 years, or at least 4 of those years, had I known these things that I'm going to talk about today. So I figured maybe I can help. Maybe you're a new reseller, or maybe you are someone who's been selling for 1, 2, 3 years and you still haven't figured these things out because they're not easy to figure out. Well, I want to show you what I did, or tell you what I did to help my reselling business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marion, and I am the smiley thrifter on most avenues online, most platforms. And I have been a reseller for 5 years. And when I started, I totally knew nothing about reselling. It kind of happened on a whim. Like, I was at a local CVS and I was buying 90% off, I believe, deals. So let's say it was Valentine's Day, right? The next week, they'll go on sale for 50%. Now it's 33%. But anyway, 50%. Then the next 75%, and then 90% somewhere within that week. They don't do that anymore. But while I was shopping and so excited that I was getting so many things for 90% off, because think about it. If I bought $90 worth of stuff, it was $9. $100 worth of stuff, $10. You're always told that you should do what you love. And if you do what you love, then it's not going to feel like work. So I decided that moment, I love getting a deal. I used to do couponing. That was so much fun to it. If you haven't seen me before, like I said, I'm the Smiley Thrifter, and I am a reseller on Poshmark, and I dabble on some other platforms, but I am going to get more and more into it. I want to learn how to do some live selling, etc. So let's just get started. The first thing I would have done differently 5 years ago when I started is I wouldn't have grabbed every single thing that I saw for $1. If it was $1, I bought it. And I'm going to show you, or at least explain to you, the changes that went on. This is what made me think of doing this video. So I've said this in other videos, but if you're new, you haven't heard it. So the first time I went to a consignment shop that has $1 day, only once a month, I spent over $120 on dollar items. I still have some of those items. It's 5 years later. I'm still donating some of those items. I am giving them away. I am selling them for dirt cheap. Sometimes you still can't get rid of them. So that I don't do anymore. So I'm going to tell you what I used to do and what I do now, and maybe that'll help you. Here's an example. That consignment shop, I now only spend in between $18 usually and $27. So let's say in between $20 and $30 when I go there on that day. Now, you may say $20 or $30, you're buying 20 or 30 items. I am, but I'm buying a lot of it for myself. And otherwise, it's only brands that I know are going to sell or have sold for me in the past. I'm not looking up comps this day because I now, 5 years later, know. Now, I don't know everything whatsoever. No, I just know that what is going to sell in my closet, what's going to sell right now. And that's the difference. When you first start, you have no clue what's going to sell for you. You have no clue what's going to sell in your area. You just have no clue. You don't know who's going to look at your items. And if you're only on Poshmark, then you're not international. If you're on eBay, you are. So it makes a big difference. And that's why I feel like eBay sellers make more money and more sales. My fear is the returns on that. But anyway, let's go on to that. So now I only spend $20 minus $100 from the first time, or minus 90, and I get things that are worth selling, and I enjoy it very much. The second thing that has changed for me is I have learned more brands. When I first started, this is the funny thing, and I'm 61, guys. So when I first started, I thought that Gloria Vanderbilt was big because that's what I loved. I thought that, I can't even remember which ones. I'll think of them as we're talking. And yeah, anyway, I bought so many Croft and Barrow and got it donated to me. We'll talk about donations soon. Stay till the end. So I kept everything. But anyway, Croft and Barrow, let me think. I forget, but a lot of them are things that sell at Kohl's. And I love buying from Kohl's, but at Kohl's, Target, Walmart, and I forget where else. One of the big wholesale places, maybe Costco. Members Mark, I don't remember. If you know where that's from, put it down below. And if you've made any changes since the beginning, put it down below. So now I do not buy any of those because they're not selling. If they were selling, I would. But now I've studied name brands, what's in trend now, and it's constant learning. We'll talk about that. So let's first talk about donations. So what'd you just learn before? I'm sorry, I'm just getting right off of it. Learn your brands. Learn the trends, because brands were more important before. Now, trends are more important. So see what style pants they're wearing now. Are fringes in? Is fringe in? Is neon in? Is tie-dye in? Take a look, see what's in. Side note, I had a retail store where I sold new and pre-loved clothing and gifts. So the same thing I was doing online, but I opened a store. We'll talk about that too if you want. Let me know if you want to hear about that experience, because it might help or hurt you get in a store if you're thinking of opening one. Okay, so I took in all those donations and I kept all of them. And I bought them for the store because I knew that's what would sell in the store. Some of the things that I bought besides the donations. And my husband was like, so what? Sell them for $1, you know. And I put them outside week after week, selling them for $1, and maybe I'd sell 2 a week. The store closes, we come home now. So now we have to build a little shed, and our house is being taken up. Yeah, we can talk about that too. And maybe I will. I don't know how long this is going to be yet. I'm just talking off the cuff. I have nothing written down, as you can see, because I'm like that. So, yeah, we brought it all back. So it's been sitting in my closet now for 5 years. And I am just doing decluttering in the past couple of months because I was finally put on a medication that helps me to be able to do more. So, side note, chronic pain, chronic disease. I try not to talk about it much, but that's why I'm working from home. And that clutters your mind. I used to do articles on that years ago. Decluttering your space to declutter your mind. Or decluttering your mind to declutter your space. It could be either or. But the next thing I want to talk about is the storage. When I first started, I thought, wow, I could just put all the red. I looked side to side because I have clothes here because I'm taking pictures, so to get my thoughts. So storage was all the red tops go in one bin, all the whites go in one bin, all the blacks go in one bin. It didn't matter what they were. The problem with that is you have to really look through every one of them. in order to find what you're looking for. Even if you only have 100 items, it's not easy. So I would say watch some videos about inventory and storing inventory for resellers, and that may help you find a good system from the beginning. I didn't watch a lot of those. I don't know why, because I watch so many videos to learn. Maybe they weren't out then when I first started that type of video. They really weren't. And now I have a system, and it's not the greatest system. You know, it depends on the reseller also to make these things run smoothly. So my system is with numbers. And the way I personally do my numbers to make it easier for myself is I put the date. So if I was to be storing stuff, inventory to sell today, I would put in 5125 because that's the date today. Happy May if you're watching it today. So that's what I do. And then I'm able to really know where everything is. Now, speaking of knowing where everything is, from the beginning, be sure that you put your items in bins and you put in your SKU or somewhere in your listing what bin it's in. I can't tell you how many times in the past something came up and I'm like, oh, great. And I go and get it and it's not there. And you know how it is looking through, I don't know how many bins are up here in my house. I'm going to say 100 easy. You know how it is looking through 100 bins. Anyway, get your crap together. No, get your storage inventory together and find a way. Also find a good way so that you can get things out easily. I still don't have mine as I'd like it, but it's because I don't have the room. So that brings me to the next thing. Room. Don't take up your whole house. It's no good to take up your whole house. It's no good to fill up a room. And I'm not judging because I still have my whole office full, but it's neatly full now compared to before. And I have half of my foyer still full after donating more than 1,000, definitely more than 1,000 items. And like I said, those were things that I took in thinking, oh, maybe I could sell them for $1. And it just never happened. And they just took up space in my home and my husband's home. So make sure you have enough room for what you are purchasing. Don't just let it get away, because that's what happens. It really does, especially talking about inventory. Let us talk about what most people call a death pile. I call it a money pile because I feel like I have all my money sitting there in a pile and I'm not making any. You know, I spent money on that. Let's say it's $200 worth of things that I can make $700 on and it's sitting on the floor. Well, or in a bin. I want you to think of this one thing because I didn't think about this. When I finally decided to go through my pile, my money pile, to make some money, I realized some of the things weren't even still in trend. Sometimes if you wait a season, it's too long. What do we got going on here? Usually not, but some of them were there for a year. And because all the things I got from my store, I didn't have online. I would have had thousands and thousands and thousands of things online. It would have took long. I would have had to take pictures. So I didn't start doing that till after I closed the store, which was not good. I still had so many free things that I got that I shouldn't have kept. I should have donated them because they would have been better off in a donation store 5 years ago than now. Thrift store or whatever. So be very aware of buying enough things that you know you can take home and take pictures of that day or the next day. Don't get swayed by sale signs. Make sure you have enough room, enough time, and everything else that's going to keep your mind free so that you can resell. What happens eventually, at least for me, is when you look around, you're like, oh, there's a pile of clothes there that I need to take pictures of. Oh, where am I going to put those? They don't fit anywhere. No. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your family if you live with somebody. And even if you live alone, it'll get depressing. Don't do it. I'm not telling you what or what not to do. I just want to share because it's what screwed up my business a little bit because I didn't know all these things. A lot, not a little bit. So once you learn these things, you're in. You are in the reselling business. Until you learn them, it's not a business. Even if you're doing it as a hobby, I would suggest you do these things to keep your mind decluttered. It'll make sense once you do it because then everything runs smoothly. You find your items. You don't have a million things out in front of you. I don't want to show my setup right now because I have paperwork out and everything with people's names, labels, etc. But let me explain to you what I have here because I don't have enough room, but I'm changing it. So you learn, like I said. So here I have like a little filing step thing where I put my Post-its, where I put my labels, where I put books, where I put wrapping, stuffing, and I also have a tray. Then right now I have clothes sitting out on the chair to either try on for myself that I bought or to sell, to take pictures of, to sell. On this side, I have all things that are too long because they're hanging from something that is long, along with other things. In the corner over there, I have more packing items. This is my living room, guys. So I am working to clear out the other spaces and then move these things out of here. So do your very best not to fill up your living space. I am fortunate that my husband is a saint when it comes to things like this. I'm not saying he don't complain, walking through the maze and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he's still, in this instant, he is very, very good. He knows I'm doing it to make money. He knows it looks messier when I don't feel well because I can't put things away, etc. So if you are someone with a chronic disease, just know, excuse me, that you may have to do things on a certain schedule. And you'll know when you're getting too tired, put things away. Because sometimes after that, you just can't put them away. But for those of you who are healthy, what else do you want to talk about? There are so many things that have changed. So you let me know what else you want to know. What are you having problems with? Are you having problems with taking pictures? Are you having problems with how to get good lighting? Are you having problems with what? Let me know and I'll do a video on it. Because I do want to share all these things with you so that I can help you through my experiences the way other YouTube videos help me. Do your best not to only be on one reselling platform. And when I say that, so many resellers say don't put all your eggs in one basket. And they're right, because if one of those sites goes down, like I'm trying to think, I think it was Kidizen. It was all kids' clothes I used to sell on there. They just said the day before, we're closing tomorrow, or the week before. We're closing next week, so Just know blah, 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 blah. So what happens to people who still have money in there? What happens? All their clothes, now they have to put them on somewhere else because they don't have another account. I know so many people, not so many, but quite a few who had to now start over on another reselling site. So for me, I'm a Poshmark girl. I believe I'll always be a Poshmark girl, but never say never. eBay, I need to learn more about. I've been saying this for 5 years. Seriously, I have. And I'm very disappointed in myself because I think that I could be doing great auctions and I could be doing live shows like I'm going to start doing, but I could have been doing them before. So that's the other thing I have to say. If you're someone who's just a reseller on a platform and you want to do live selling, learn about it and get right on there. Don't let fear get in your way like it did to me, and it's not doing anymore. Keep good records. Even if you are doing it part-time, even if you're doing it as a hobby, just keep all your receipts. And if you go to a store that's cash only, see if you can get a receipt. If you can't, write it out. Make sure that you have all your receipts for tax season. Yeah, because that's a toughie. When you don't, all hell breaks loose. I'm telling you, you'll be doing your tax returns for days and days and days and days. And who knows if you'll get them right. Make sure every time you go to a thrift store, you write down your mileage. It definitely counts. If you have tolls, put them on there. I didn't do this in the beginning, and it definitely makes a world of difference because you're paying taxes, right? So you might as well get the breaks that you are allowed to get. So that's all I have to share with you today. Let me know below if there's anything else you want me to answer. If I don't know, I'll find out, and I'm hoping to see you soon. If you came back to watch, welcome back. I am so sorry I haven't been around for a while. I just want my videos to be good. I want them to be worth something. I bought a brand new giant-sized microphone to use so that I sound better. Problem is, I didn't buy the stand. I thought it all came together. So that I will not be using yet because that's going to be more money. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to support the channel for free, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Please leave comments and let me know what you want to see.